Yeah. Yo, it's Notorious Rin, man. You know, I ain't gonna do the no catchphrases or nothing like that today. It's a sad day, man. It's a sad day in hip hop. It's a sad day, period. I'm quite sure because as I was waking up to go to work, I went, of course, I go to the bathroom in the morning, and I freshen up in the morning before I head out to work, and I was breezing through my notifications. I had quite a few notifications on my phone. And, before I even step out the door, before I even step out the bathroom, it comes to a realization that overnight while I was asleep, Takeoff from the Migos, man, rest in peace to Takeoff from the Migos. And this is not to disrespect any of the other members of the Migos, but, Takeoff is my favorite. And I, to have a conversation with my homie Nick all the time. He gonna see this. I always had conversations with Nick about how Takeoff was my favorite Migo, like, and that's real shit. Like, I always did this. Like, I really like Lil Homie really was tight. So I also have emails where you can email me through YouTube, and this is why I like YouTube, is the connectivity. And just one of my subscribers in Houston, that they actually like my material, like what I do, and her cousin was at that bowling alley, like a bowling alley and pool hall, when this happened to Takeoff. And her cousin is in the video. If I got the video, and I'm not gonna post that video, but her cousin was there, and she was just like, "Yo, I like your content. I like what you do. Just please put it out there. What really happened." And she gave me names, but I'm not going to put no names in this situation because I'm not, a police officer. I'm not none of that. So what I will tell y'all is I'm gonna give you the real raw from somebody that was there, and like exactly how it went down. So Jazz Prince had a party for his birthday. Quavo and Takeoff went out to Houston, to celebrate with Jazz because they cool with Jazz and all that. They get there, everything's going cool. Quavo is a little more animated than Takeoff. Takeoff is chilling. Quavo is moving around, mixing with more people than Takeoff is, as normal. Quavo gets into a dice game, right? But everybody on social media is say, y'all gotta tag people and share this video because that's not really why this happened to Takeoff. The dice game happened. The dice game ended. And it was just some shit talking after it. So they get the dice game. The dice game, where her cousin was at, she couldn't tell who won or lost. And I'm being real with y'all, so I'm not gonna come on here and say shit that I don't know. She couldn't tell who won or who lost. But what she heard was later after that was that Quavo was arguing with the dude and telling him like they can bet on anything. So it went past dice game. And Quavo was like basically, oh, whatever, nigga, like what you trying to do? We can bet on anything. Nigga like, nigga, we can go, nigga, hoop, we can play ball. Quavo like, nigga, I stay in the gym, nigga. I'm always, you know what I'm saying? I'm always balling. I'm always hooping or whatever. So she said that as that's happening, dude swings on Quavo. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like the shooter, which I got a name, but like I said, I ain't coming here to be talking all that shit, like put nobody's name out there. A punch was exchanged, right? When the punch was exchanged, the crowd started to, fumble around. The gunshots erupted. She said it was two different guns. One was a bigger gun, one was a littler gun. By the time she looked up, Takeoff was on the ground. But she said this part, the nigga who shot was shooting at them for real. Like everybody's saying that it was Takeoff's entourage that shot him, but she's saying that Quavo took off running and Takeoff tried to run, And if anybody know about what happened, Takeoff got shot in the back of his head. If you look at the video before the altercation, Takeoff is in front of the altercation. He's looking at the altercation. He got shot in the back of his head. That's because somebody pulled the gun out. And if you look at see the video that I got, you can see Quavo running because he got the red shirt on. Quavo runs about 300 feet away from Takeoff before he comes back and realizes that Takeoff is hit. Quavo didn't know Takeoff was hit. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't what everybody's saying. It wasn't what, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't, oh, one of his people shot him. No, it wasn't. It didn't go down like that. Quavo got swung on. Somebody pulled out a gun, right? Nobody knows who shot first at this point, right? But what we do know is if you look at where Takeoff was laying at, Quavo ran down that way, down. And Takeoff tried to go that way himself. But he got clipped in his head. And then that's when he fell. And at the end of the day, he lost his life. But it's some things that are true about the story. As far as Quavo, you know, being around, doing what he doing, and Takeoff chilling. Because Takeoff was always a chill dude. Like, that's what he did. He was a chill ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like, he's a cool guy. From everybody that I ever... Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let me say this. I got a chance to actually rub shoulders with Takeoff and Quavo when we had a hurricane here in Florida. I had to evacuate. I had to go to my day one nigga crib up in Decula, Georgia, which is right next to Lawrenceville, right? Gwinnett County. So Decula is in Gwinnett County. So what I did was, it was me, my mom, and my nephew, and we all went up to my homie Stro crib in Decula. So what I did was, I slid down to the city, to Atlanta, and I went to the Lenox Mall because I wanted to get something to eat and wanted to do a little shopping or whatever. And when I was coming out, you know where the Valley, if anybody from Atlanta is in here, you know when you come out Lenox Mall by the Cheesecake Factory, that's where the valet is. So when I came out, Quavo and P was pulling up in the white McLaren, and Take was in like a Hellcat. Offset wasn't with him. And they got out the car, like, right in front of me. Like, literally right in front of me. Like, boom, I spoke to them. They was looking at me because they really didn't know who I was. You could tell, like, I must have looked like somebody they ain't fuck with. Because they had their eyes on me the whole time. Like, literally the whole time. And I just gave them a head nod and spoke to them. They spoke back. And, you know, they went into the mall. And I went to my car, and I left. And I definitely actually had a chance to say that, you know, I definitely, you know, seen Takeoff before, you know what I mean? Like, in a public setting, you know what I mean? Not no concert or nothing like that. I definitely seen him, you know what I mean? His attitude was the same way as it always been, like, you know, cool cat. So, yeah, people blaming his entourage for shooting him. You jumping the gun. They were running when he got shot. He was shot in the back of his head. They were running away from the situation when he got shot. A punch was exchanged. Motherfucker pulled the gun out. They tried to get the fuck out of there. And he was going the same way that Quavo was going. But Quavo was across from him. See, Quavo was on the other side of the action. So Quavo was further away from the gunman than Take was. So Take had to try to cut and go down to get away. Quavo was already down to the left. Like on the bowling alley side. Quavo was. Takeoff was over on the side by the railing. So he was in a bad pathway. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately he got clipped. And really what I want to say is, man, like, and people talking about like Jazz Prince and all that stuff like that with Jazz Prince. I'm like, look, bro. At the end of the day, man, you can't control everybody, man, especially when there's liquor involved and when there's like drugs involved, Molly's, Percocets, whatever niggas is popping. You can't put this on Jazz Prince or Jay Prince. You can't control everybody. That just is what it is, man. Like, that's just the bad part about having, you know, and another thing you got to understand, like, it wasn't no regular niggas inside of there after they closed. These were all niggas who was either affiliated with the Migos or affiliated with mob ties. There wasn't no regular niggas in there. You had to be somebody, you know what I mean? He wasn't arguing with no broke nigga. Quavo ain't gonna argue with no broke nigga. It was somebody of notoriety in Houston, Texas. And I got the name, like I said, but I ain't putting that out there. So, you know, it's a sad day, man. You gotta have better security with you, even when you go into those places, because if you had the right security with you, as soon as that would have jumped off, security would have pulled Takeoff and Quavo to the back immediately. Yo, get your asses here. In the back, cool. It wouldn't have been a chance for that to even happen. But they didn't have the right security with them. It's a lot that I could speak on this situation about us killing each other, man, but it just seems like that's like beating a dead horse, man. No pun intended. It's like beating a dead horse, beating a fucking drum that don't work. It's never gonna stop. It's too late. You know what I mean? I just want to say rest in peace to Takeoff, man, and definitely my favorite Migo. All the Migos are tight, but definitely my favorite Migo. But that's literally what really happened. It wasn't like literally over the dice game. It was over some bravado after the dice game. It was over like, okay, yeah, you might have beat me in this dice shit, but no, nigga, like boom, boom, nigga, like, all right, well, whatever, nigga, like, we could play some ball or whatever. But it just went left. And once you physically, you know, once somebody swings a punch and everybody got guns, somebody gonna shoot. That's normally how it happens in the hood at dice games. It's just hood shit. It's hood politics. It's just unfortunate that Takeoff was in the wrong place at the right time. You know what I mean? For God to come get him. And, you know I'm banging Migos all night. I'm banging Take album all night tonight. I'm about to go get me some seafood, some crab legs, and lay my ass down. Watch the Phillies ready. Come on. Watch the Phillies, man. So, rest in peace, Takeoff, man. Tough day, man. Tough day. Notorious Rin, man. I'm out, bro.